Hello again, folks. Hope y'all had a good weekend, good week, everything. Um, I want everybody to be able to have everything they need. Unfortunately, we don't always have that. Some of that can be attributed to what we focus on in news. I know I've at least alluded to a lot of this in the past two videos, and if you've watched any of or read any of my articles, you've probably read some of my thoughts about how media really affects that. But the reality is, there are things you should be expecting from media. Uh, that's all media, but in particular news, because news has a different responsibility than most other media. Most media is designed for entertainment and nothing else. So it can be informative, and it's really nice when it's informative. It's also nice when it tries to teach you something, a real moral lesson or whatever about where we are and the things people have to go through. But news has a different responsibility. News should be more morally responsible because news isn't just giving us some usually fictional story that is supposed to keep us interested and on our seats for half hour if it's a television show, or 2 hours if it's a little bit more than an average length movie. Um, News is supposed to be telling you the things happening to people in a direct way, not in a symbolic way. They're supposed to be telling you without question, these are the things people are dealing with. This is what this person has done to make the world better, make the world worse, criminal, whatever, however that story happens to be. So what you should be expecting isn't this subjective and biased entity that tries to show its objectivity and its balance by having two people on opposite sides of an issue talk to each other, and typically turns into an argument. I get it. Arguments are pretty exciting sometimes. Controversy certainly has a lot to do with the way things get done, the way people speak, the way we relate to each other. We're not really going to be able to improve stuff, and we're not going to really. It's hard to disagree without something being controversial. It's even harder to attack the status quo without being controversial. But the news media that we see should be able to walk that line a little bit better, because they're not there to convince us of certain things. Although the way it works out now, you would be surprised to learn that they're not supposed to be swaying your opinion necessarily. They're not supposed to be persuasive. They're just supposed to be presenting. And in that presentation is probably going to be opinion. You can't really get all opinions out from people. You can't expect them to forget any bias they have, but you can expect them to be honest about their biases. So I would say one of the main things you should look for is somebody who will tell you, listen, this is what I think, but I have this bias. And they don't have to say that every time they talk either. I mean, at some point, you can stop saying that. But you need to make it clear that what you're speaking from isn't necessarily a place of seeing everything and understanding it. This is my understanding from my perspective and my experiences and my definitions of things. So I don't know. I guess the best thing to say here is, don't let the news shape your opinion. Don't let the news give you your opinion. Look for it and expect it to give you information which you can use to formulate an opinion by finding other information. Because realistically, that's what your responsibility in learning is, to make sure that the information that you're taking in is verifiable. So even if news doesn't do it, you should be. But you should also be holding the news and the reporters and the organizations accountable for the way that they are portraying information and how they are trying to push your views or push their views on you. Don't succumb to their agenda just because that's what you're watching, and as far as you're concerned, they probably have more access to stuff than you. Make them present that access and use that access to help you rather than to promote themselves and make themselves money. They're supposed to be there to help you and to help us develop and become better as a society. So I'm going to leave this one. This will be my shortest one, actually. I'm going to leave this one off by saying expect the news to be responsible, and if they're not, force that accountability into them. Yeah, sounds good. Again, Kyle Leonard, No Apologies Productions. This video is being done for Full Sail University, and I hope you guys enjoy. Comment below and let me know what you think. Thank you.